No, I'm not saying that Skyward Sword HD is gonna have multiplayer. This video is just gonna be talking about how they could implement multiplayer into Skyward Sword HD. So, Skyward Sword HD is a Zelda game, and Zelda games are known for being single player games. No mainline Zelda game, especially the 3D games, have online or multiplayer. There are spin offs that have multiplayer, but none of the mainline games have any kind of co op gameplay. However, Skyward Sword HD, while it's never going to happen, could have some online game modes. So many people are upset about it being $60 and it's a Wii game added to Switch. And these online modes could maybe get people to be a little less mad. Now, it's not going to make people maybe spend $60, but it'd be really cool, like to play a Zelda game with like friends. That'd be amazing. So in this video, I'll just be discussing different ways they can implement online into Skyward Sword HD. So yeah, so the first thing I was thinking of is like a dojo mode. Now you guys might be like, what do you mean by a dojo mode? So you know how in Wii Sports Resort, there's that one sword fighting game where like you just fight the opponent, or if you're playing with friends, you just fight your friend. Well, they could do something like that with Skyward Sword, have different arenas or something, different locations like Skyloft and a few dungeons, maybe some areas made just for this mode. And with the motion controls or without motion controls, you have to do precise movements and try to get your opponent down to the most health. It'd be a very simple online start, like it'd be one of the more simple games that I'm gonna mention, but it'd be great. You use your shield to block it, you gotta do different controls, and I don't know, it'd be very cool in my opinion. Like, it may sound kind of absurd, but it'd be cool. And you have to move around a bit. You do have to kind of move around a bit too. You can't just stand in one place. Like, do maybe different flips, maybe find different like areas to attack from. I don't know, I think that could work very well. It may sound a bit like, okay, what are you saying? But it could work very well in my opinion. Just like, it'd be more fun with motion controls, but even without motion controls, you could make it work. You could just add different like kind of sword fighting techniques, because I mean, Skyward Sword, it sounds perfect for Skyward Sword. Now another thing we could do is like an enemy arena. So kind of like the Trial of the Swords from Breath of the Wild. You could do something like that with Skyward Sword. Like you're teamed up with another person, and maybe you land onto Skyloft or just some location in Skyward Sword, a dungeon, whatever. Probably not dungeon, but some location with enemies. And a bunch of enemies spawn, and you have to kill enemies and see who can kill the most amount of enemies. And if you like die, you lose a bunch of points, and then you respawn, kind of like maybe Battle Mode Mario Kart or something like that. And that also sounds very cool in my opinion, just to see who can get the most points. Or you can have a team mode where you have to kill a certain amount of enemies in a certain amount of time. And I think that would work well as well. I think that kind of mode would probably be more like Breath of the Wild like, but it could work. It could definitely work. Or now we can combine the dojo and that into one game, where again you both are in one location, you spawn in one location, you're on two different sides. It's a big location, as I've said before, like Skyloft. It's a big location, you're on two different sides, and enemies spawn and all, and then you guys have to try to defeat each other. But if you get defeated by an enemy, then you lose as well. Something like that. I think that could work. And now the next game I think of is maybe like a item catching mode. Like, in Skyward Sword you can catch like butterflies or just flies or whatever. Maybe you can see who can catch the most amount of that. Or maybe who can get the most amount of rupees in a certain amount of time. Or, I don't know, something like that. I think something like that could work great. Just who can get the most amount of butterflies, or I don't know. I guess something like that. Be cool. And then maybe you can have some underwater like game, like collect certain collectibles underwater. They could do something kind of combined like that. That'd be great. It would probably be in one game. One like mode. I think that would work perfectly as well. And this is one I would love to see. It would work amazing. A racing mode. You guys might be like, what? Okay, come on. You've already said some absurd stuff about this game having multiplayer, and now you're talking about racing? I'm talking about with this birds. I forgot what they're called actually. I'm not Skylofts? Is that what they're called? I actually forgot what they're called. I'm not even kidding. But anyway, the birds from Skyward Sword. You can try to fly them, maybe have certain goals, maybe you have rings in the air. You can see who can get the most amount of rings in the time limit, or who can just get to like a finish line. Something like that would work amazing in my opinion as well. And that just sounds so fun in my opinion. Like, who can raise or something with using the birds, the Skylofts, or whatever they're called. It'd be great. It feels perfect. It just feels perfect for this game. And yeah. Okay, so the final idea I had is kind of similar to the sword fighting thing, and I probably should have mentioned it there, but it just came into mind now. An archery mode. Like, with the bow, you can maybe have to shoot a certain amount of targets in time, or just enemies walk around who can shoot the most amount of enemies, or again, like a teamwork mode. Something like that would also be amazing. Kind of like Wii Sports archery as well. I don't know, I think that would be fantastic. I would actually love that. And we could also have a boss rush. There's just so many ideas for online. There could be a boss rush. We have to just fight different bosses at like a certain time, kind of like Kirby Star Allies. And I don't know, there's just so much potential for an online mode in this game. I'm not even kidding. But anyway, yeah, what was your opinion? Do you think I was a bit too far-fetched? Just let me know what you think of this video. Do you think we're gonna get online in Skyward Sword HD? I doubt it. Or any multiplayer? I doubt that. But it would be amazing. And Nintendo, if you're watching this video, take notes. Just take notes. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.